we return for another episode of Observer Retro Streams. Coming next, we continue Myst 3 Exile, to finally solve the mystery behind the lesson ages. On March 1st and 15th, we bring the Myst saga to a close with Myst 4, Revelation. And finally, on March 29th, watch for Asylum by Senscape. Not for the faint of heart. Here's the recap on last stream's events.
My sons, I promise to teach you the secrets of my ages. This world is the first step on your journey. Search the island and you'll find 3 linking books. Each connects to an age in which you must work.
Hello, Atris. Been a long time. Sorry I'm not there to greet you in person, but I just didn't think it would be wise, considering how long I've been stuck here. Trapped in these lesson ages by 2 very greedy little boys. Your sons, Atris, Cirrus, and Achenar. Worried about relation? I have it. Worried about friends, relatives, people you can't get back. I know just how you feel. But if you want to do something about it, you're gonna have to open this device. And there's just one problem. I've changed the 3 symbols that do that. So if you want to reclaim relation, you're gonna have to take your own class. Not so easy, is it, Atreus?
That is one really low frequency. Welcome back. Last time, we conquered Voltaic and almost finished Yadana. And today, we're going to be finishing Exile. I will note that the fixes to ScummVM have improved over time, as I now have a build that has something special. So, to get back where we were, it's as simple as loading a game. And that game is this one. I could push load, but let's do it the cool way. How about that? Linking to a save game. And as you can see, this time I have a widescreen mod enabled. I had to fill out more reports with ScummVM to get it working, but now if I right click, the inventory is now here in a bar which actually disappears when I move away from it. The earlier version of this mod had this inventory as a really is much too small, so that's why I had it fixed. Or, more accurately, filed a report to get ScummVM to fix it. So anyway, what are we doing inside this giant lotus anyway? It's pollinated, it's open, the part inside is much more ripe looking than the other one. Well, if you look closely, these purple items are actually fruits that the giant bird feeds her young. And believe it or not, we need that bird's help. Now I'm sure this is how the plan is supposed to work, but I'd say don't think too hard about it. But we call her with this, and this is our next ride. Well, that was a little precarious. And I guess she's waiting for us to get out so we don't get eaten ourselves. Well, we click here. There's the second symbol. This design reminds me of something. Savidro said he's been changing the symbols, and there's an entry in here talking about it. There's something with sap to cover the second one. He provided floating stone to change the island in voltaic, so he must have done something to the other age too. So he's been hiding elements of these symbols in order to change them, which makes me think if there was meant to be more to this. Well, check it out. We're in the place we were just observing from this flower in the last video, because we pointed right at this Jananan book. So far we've raised the cage holding the Narayan linking book in there, but we still need to open it and get at it. By the way, you ever wonder where we're getting these pages from? Well, as it happens, they were from the back of this journal, so there's only one page left. Drag and...
this what you expected, Atris? When you followed me here hoping to reclaim Relation? Is this classroom what you expected to find? I read your journal, you know. In Tamana, after I found your linking book abandoned outside this observatory, I read all about the Dunning. How you started their world again. Can you really do that, Atris? After everything that's happened to Narayan, could you start their world over again? I don't think so. I think there's too much blood on our hands, too many ghosts. Surely you can't change that with a pen stroke. One more symbol, Atris. Narayan is waiting.
So it seems Savijor thinks that Atris is using the art to bring the Dunny back to life. And once again, I'm sorry for repeating, but there is another entry that talks about that. How can one man's writings reawaken a dead world? That's not actually true, of course. All he did was recruit the surviving Dunny people and make a brand new age for them to move to. But it's understandable why Savijor would think otherwise, because that's exactly how Sirius and Akinar manipulated his people. Because they warped the concept of the lesson agents and making them think that Narayan was an unstable world, like Riven. Well, as it happens, the blue projector we saw is actually where we first set for the Third Age. So this time, the symbol looks like a Green Lantern logo for some reason. And this tusk is all the way out here. Okay, so we have the positions of these dots look like a trapezoid. So it's... I'm gonna write this down. North, northwest. East, southeast. South, southeast, and west. And I just realized something. These symbols... The symbol for Idana looks like a bird. And this one resembles the airship. So do these represent the things that brought us back to the start of each age? They look kind of like the animal puzzle symbols from Riven, too. Anyway. One moment, please. I gotta check OBS real quick. So unlike the other two tusks, this one isn't really spread out. It's all by itself out on this island. You know, Savita was smart. He could have been using these telescopes to track where we're going. Good thing he didn't. So down this ladder. Oh. This giant barrel is in our way. Well, there's the door at least. But there is a ladder on that side. Not gonna lie, these water effects, they might have been good for their time, but they haven't aged well. So we got 2 levers. And it looks like the points of this walkway move on tracks here. Wow, physics. So if Voltaic was about energy and Idana was about nature, then I'm guessing this one has something to do with physics. Let's open this, and... oh. And Savita definitely pulled no punches in messing up this. He must have really hated this age. So how do we get over there? Well, I can think of one resource. If we can build up enough momentum for the barrel to roll in there into the hole, then that might fix it. I don't think something that big should be able to roll and stop like that. Unless this walkway has lubrication or something. Just like Aperture Science would have done. Kinda odd. The color for the projector was blue, but this crystal's white. I wonder why that is. And today's age is Amateria. Well, at least the book is blue. Well, this is certainly different from the others. Looks almost like Chinese architecture, lanterns and everything. And by the looks of these tracks, It seems that this is one giant roller coaster. So where do we even start? Well, this pathway has holes in it, probably controlled by these panels. But we don't know the code yet. And of course, there's the way back to Jananan if you get stuck. Like they make a little platform for this one. And it seems these are actually illuminated by fire marbles. Did I mention the thing Savitra threw at that tapestry was also a fire marble? Yeah, since they conduct light from being struck like glow sticks, yeah, I would advise against grabbing and throwing one of those things. Because, like, imagine if these chains snapped and this one came crashing down on our head. At least this has an actual chain handrail. A lot of hexagons in this place. So right continues on and the left continues outside. I'll pick left first. Really quite an interesting background we have here. We have thunderclouds on one side, sunset on the other, stars are out. It's almost like a surrealist painting, like something on a King Crimson album. Well, yeah. I wonder what caused this water to look like this. Some variant of a volcanic source, perhaps? Oh, we got some controls here, but none work. Let's see what this does. So it looks like the trackway continues right here, goes across this, and winds around the corner. Let's start with this one. Okay. Okay, I'm quite sure that's not supposed to happen. So it looks like this wooden ball here is meant to be a counterweight for this end of this half pipe, I guess. And the other half is connected to a rope that goes inside this hut. So let's check that out. What's this? Some kind of Japanese sauna? Well, it looks like it could be one, but it looks like Atris is using it as a storeroom for all of these material pieces. Well, there was actually a clue to this back in part 1. We saw in Savitro's lab on Jananan that one crystal ball equals 4 wooden balls, and 4 crystal balls equals 1 metal ball in the upper right. And that one weight can be balanced with
That is
twice
one
its weight
really
if the
low
fulcrum is placed
frequency.
half from the doubled weight. So what do we even put on here? Well, first let's actually look at that counterweight ball up close. It looks all wooden. So if we want to balance a wooden ball that's made of 8 wooden quadrants, then surely we could just... Let's try 1 crystal piece. Did I mention this platform is floating? I think Savitro mentions that because minerals in this age can attract and repel each other, which is how I messed up the voltaic symbol. Still too light. Actually, now that I think about it, we haven't seen the whole side of that ball. I could be assuming things. Still looks wooden there, but we haven't seen the top, so... Aha! There's our answer. So this counterweight is actually 7 wooden pieces plus 1 crystal piece. So that's 7 plus 4 wooden units equals... So this ball is 11 units. 11 wooden units. That is not a nice looking shadow. Oh, more journal pages. My attempts to produce a carnivorous hybrid. So Savitro made that giant Venus flytrap, pitcher plant in Adana because we saw a smaller version in his lab. So he deliberately made that just to slow us down. This guy is determined, if nothing else. So here we can add... We have room for 1, 2, 3, 4... 6... This one... Let's try this one, just to see. Because at present, our weight has... No, that won't be enough. That'll be 10 units. That's one short. So, the question is, how do we balance this? And I'm sure Savitro smashed a bunch of other pieces so we don't have as many choices. Well, like I showed in the clip, we can balance it using double the weight with the fulcrum at half distance. Which means we need 22 wooden units. So how do we get that? Well, I admit it requires some math. We have 4 right now, shown here. And these metal ones, after doing some math, a metal piece is 16 units. (16 plus 4, that's 20, so all we need now is 6 plus... Sorry, I'm just double checking my math here. This should be our weight, yes. I'm gonna do a little bit of an experiment first. Oh, and... just in case... So let's test this as is first. Yeah, that's definitely heavier. But like I said, we just need to move the fulcrum closer to the double weight. Man, this whole puzzle is one giant physics test, isn't it? It's a lot more interesting than going to school. There it goes. It looks like the part of the track near the start is moving up and down. So it looks like the control panel is locked, so now the settings we use will probably be locked in place. And note down this sequence of hexagons. We'll probably need it later. And also note how this one is yellow around the edge. So let's follow this path now. Interesting mineral. Looks like one big dugout cave. That is a very crude ladder. At least we can climb it. If I had to guess, this was the track that ice ball was traveling along, and it ends up here, which we can't cross. But at least now we can see our next puzzle. Maybe I should call it an amusement ride, because this place is a lot like an amusement park, it seems. And more pages. Entry 3. They will not understand how your words fit together, but they will use them to open the shield. Narayan is where their lessons come together. Narayan is the sum of what they must learn. They tell you they've come back to fix Narayan. So Sirius and Akanar didn't take the Narayan tradition seriously and didn't understand why the people there had to spend so much time caring for the lattice trees. They only knew how to manipulate that flaw. So what's this control for? I can hear sounds coming from these rings, and as it happens, this was the first bug I found and filed a report for, so now it's fixed. We can push these buttons, and we can hear that one is making a deeper sound than the rest. Interesting. Let's see what the ice ball does here. This ride is actually called the Spider Spinner, and the one before was called Libra's Lever, appropriately named. So the small ball rolls over these buttons in a clockwise manner, and each time it affects one of the rings. So, judging by what's happening, it seems that these rings are set to the wrong positions, which is why they're not turning off properly. They also seem to have a distinct symbol for each. Well, let's get down there and see if we can fix this. Whoa. I think we found the third mural by Savidro. Scaffold and everything. This one seems to show the Civil War that split Narayan in two, and he's caught in the middle. Meanwhile, these really macabre images of the brothers are just laughing at the chaos they've caused. One of these even has a pistol-sized crossbow. Well, this is a really awkward path. You know, I just thought of something. All while I was going through these lesson ages, I had a feeling that Sirius and Akinar were going through this course together, which means they were, yeah, solving all these puzzles side by side. I wouldn't put it past one of them, like, say, if Akinar was here and he raised the panel up, I wouldn't be surprised if he launched an ice ball to roll down here and smack Sirius in the back. Probably would hurt a lot too. So let's follow based on how the ice ball comes down. It starts here and then rolls straight across. Yep, there's the problem. The small ball in the panel was supposed to start here. Yay, I don't like this. So yeah, these portals make vibrations in the air that destroy the ball if they're not turned off. Huh, that's interesting. So by the laws of momentum, the ball would turn and come through here. So this would be port ring 2. This next joke is a shout out to YouTuber Shady Paradox.
That is one really low frequency.
I miss that guy. He's one of the first people to actually put Exile on YouTube in the first place. So anyway, this one should be number 3. That's number 4. Okay, now I'm turned around. Okay, I'm wrong. It actually does a 90-degree turn and goes through here. This one is number 4. Kind of hypnotic looking into this. Before I change this last one, I'm going to do a dry test first. I'm gonna miss zip mode. This is the last official Myst game to use this kind of transition. Because in Myst 4, they do something different. Okay, so far so good. And it vaporizes again. And that's because this button is set to both of these rings, here and here, when it should be this one, which currently none of them are set to. Well, that's a simple fix. This old age feels like a giant clockpunk precursor to the game Marble Madness. Anyone remember that? Alright, everything should be set. So this one's blue. Yet again, the music changes. Well, it so happens that it seemed that when the ball cleared all 5 portals, it continued on and went through here again. Well, at least there's a walkway for us right here. Wow. This whole place is like that basalt formation in Ireland called Giant's Causeway. This ride looks like it's tilted. Wonder why that is. Books they carried and with them showed other worlds, beautiful places where people didn't have to work so hard to survive. They told my people that Atris had written these books, that he'd written Narayan, but he'd made it unstable. Wanted to make us slaves to the tree. To show his sons what an age shouldn't be. Without our traditions, we will die, they said. He said he would come back, but then he didn't. He didn't, and for that you'll have to make him pay. So what ride is this? As it happens, this is actually called the Wheels of Wonder. It actually kind of reminds me of those teacup rides from Disney World. And up here we can get possibly the best view of the age so far. We can see the spider spinner and the place where we started. It looks like there's something on this track. And we have pegs we can place. Let's see what happens. The left one spins counterclockwise and the right one clockwise. And it shatters. Well, it's kind of obvious that the ball starts, it comes up through here, and we need it to end here. Now, it looks like you could just move over here in 2 moves, but that spot is jammed shut. I don't think Savidro did this. I would think Atris would put that there, because otherwise it would be too easy, wouldn't it? So how do we figure this out? Well, the only safe places to get onto the tracks, we would have to move this 1, 2, or 3 moves, so... Remember, you have to trace this backwards counterclockwise along this wheel. Let's try that one. Okay, so once... Because the place where the pin falls is here. So when it's there, where does it go? It goes here, and this goes counterclockwise, so it would have to be 1, 2, 3, 4. I actually wonder something. If it moves back to here... This looks most promising, because otherwise this would be covered up. Four moves. once that's there, then this would be here. Although I happen to know, it is possible to send the ball back through the start. I think it's with this hole. It's not what we want, but it's interesting to see. Okay, I miscalculated. Dang it, I keep messing that one up. Oh, this one. There. So if the ball can't go anywhere, it just vaporizes. I think I have a screenshot of this somewhere. This isn't the puzzle, it's just an extra Easter egg. Blame it on a guy who started this game with walkthroughs. This is tricky, dudes. There. And then... So what are we supposed to do? How do we solve this actual puzzle? Well, the ball comes here. It would have to come here. And this moves counterclockwise 4 moves, so we're almost there. And then it should land here. And I think we'd have to... we just move once. One more attempt. Yes! Check that out. It seems Atris installed some kind of spike in between the rails that shatters the ball before it rolls up too far. Kind of reminds me of those things people use in real life where a car can roll over it one way, but it punctures the tires the other way. Sorry about that holdup, guys. So the proper solution... 3 moves here, so... Four there, because it'll be clockwise. One movement there, and we should be home free. Like, one more time, just for fun. Whew, that was tough. One of my favorite tracks starts playing. Well, we've fixed all 3 rides around Amateria, so now what? Well, like all the others, we gotta go back to where we started. And as it happens, this path will take us there. Interesting design in these columns. I wonder if that's deliberate. So this is where the codes go in. And bear in mind, the order you put them in is based on which order you fix the rides in. So we actually started with yellow. Next up, blue. They even got spotlights illuminating the panels. And finally, green. So now that this path is complete, we just gotta open this hatch. Whoa, that's some slick presentation there. Well, now we can see why the ice balls don't make it to the finish line, because look at all this. This is a jumbled mess. It's all these crisscrossing tracks that go nowhere. No wonder they didn't make it through. Okay, I gotta call shenanigans. If Sirius and Akinar did take this course together, how do they fit in this one seat? Especially with no seatbelt. Rid over the ages, I guess. And the final imager.
This morning I woke up and I couldn't picture Tamara's face. The little line at the corner of her lip that pulls her whole mouth down when she smiles, the flutter in her eyelashes. I tried so hard to picture her in my mind, put her down on paper as if that might bring her back. I couldn't do it. Atris, I'm not you.
He still thinks Atris could revive his world by writing. Well, that explains why his mural of Tamara has no eyes. He couldn't remember what they looked like. After 20 years of isolation...
That is one really low
man,
frequency.
that's rough. Oh, shoot. Sorry. Anyway. So now we've gone up into the hovering cupola of the building, and we can see all the different attractions around us, including buttons corresponding to their themes. Well, that's not surprising. Well, given the chaotic jumble, that's not surprising. So, as it happens, this is how we fix it. Now, where do we start? Well, going by the order of the tracks, I would say blue is where it begins. So the ball comes out here, and then it should follow this line, and then, no, and come out here and cross to here to the yellow course, and then straight line again, crosses through here. I think we should be good. But let's dry test this first. It's real interesting how this machine shapes those ice balls using a lathe. Yep, almost got it right, and it actually stays up until it shatters, of course. Well, with everything in place, time to do this. This is why I saved the best for last. Strap in, keep your hands inside of the car, because this is our ride. We are the ball now. Hold on tight. And there's the third symbol. Yep, he definitely desecrated the columns alright, because it looks like there was a different symbol above and below. It's one giant tableau. I was excited to see that scene because it's so much cooler in widescreen. Someone even synced it to Song 2 by Blur. Way back when. Well, that symbol.
You've done well, my sons, but there's still one task ahead of you. The linking book you see here connects to an age called Narayan. It's a very delicate age, where civilization has emerged in response to the world's imbalances. It's also the first inhabited age I'm sending you to alone. But don't be afraid. The knowledge you've acquired here will show you the way in. Use it and see all that Narayan has to offer.
You know, I'm kinda not surprised Savidra didn't tape over this message, because everything Atris just said there kind of sums up what happened. Because Sirius and Akonai weren't interested in how Narayan worked. They only knew how to exploit it to reap everything it had to offer. Well, we've had our fun and games, but it's time we face Savidra once and for all. And see what's left of Narayan. Coast seems clear. If I were here, I'd be waving a gun in all directions. Well, by these subtitles and what's written here, I'd say these are Narayan words, and they look a lot like the ones that were on the symbols. These ones look like they were torn down. I hope there wasn't anything important on them. It really does seem like a fusion of all three ages, because we have the organic structures of the lattice tree, the machinery from Voltaic, and the crystals from Amateria. I don't think this is a standard force field. It looks more like ice. Like this crystal is forming moisture in the air to form a solid ball. I wonder how cold it is. It's not even made using a lathe either. It's doing it on its own. Or whatever it is. This is. There doesn't seem to be any power at the moment. I'm guessing this used to be a doorway, but like Savidra said, parts of this lattice tree are overgrown. Yeah, I don't think that was man-made. It looks like it's not supposed to be there. And I recognize this gondola. This is what Sears and Ackner were using in the voltaic painting. Nowhere to go upstairs. Wow. It looks like the entire tree is covered in an even larger ice ball. And there's the crystal generating it. Shit, here he comes.
What? You're not... Where is he? Look, I know he's here. I have his book. So where is he? He didn't come. I take relation from him, and he sends you instead.
Not exactly.
Idiot. You actually thought this would work. You thought that you could force him into coming here, fixing things? Why? Why would he rewrite Narayan? Because of your messages? Because of your paintings? Look at your world. Look at what's left of it. When are you gonna get it through your thick skull that you do not matter to him? Could be alive out there. No one. We're stuck here, you know. The linking book back to Chinanan is gone. Left behind when I linked out of Atris's study. And as for getting in to Narayan, look around you. This chamber is the only way in. And Atris installed some kind of shield, and I have never been able to get past it. Not once in all these years. So you're just as stuck here as I am. At least until I open this book. And I show Atris what it's like to watch your friends and relatives die. If you do find a way out of here, I suggest that you think very carefully about using it. Because the one thing I know about linking books, the doors they open don't close behind you.
Well, that was awkward. I don't know if it's Jack Wall's orchestral score or what, but even to this day, Brad Dourif pulls no punches in trying to appear a psycho. And he's locked himself in this bunker. When he's trying to break the lock on the Relishon book. Well, like I said, it's made of Nara, so, good luck trying, dude. Wow. Ice Shield certainly makes this panorama look bleak, and you can just faintly see out there. That must have been the ruined tree he was talking about. It definitely does look lifeless from this perspective. So, on this tower, it looks like some kind of thermal vent or something. Runs to these coils, and it leads to this big red switch. Well, I can hear something humming. Now this works. Huh, I get it now. This is where the three symbols come into play. The problem is, these have slots of 4 and we only have 2 because of you-know-who's meddling. So, he stranded us here with no way of solving this puzzle. Well, that's not entirely true. Because in here, written in bold, are 3 phrases. Energy powers future motion from voltaic. Nature encourages mutual dependence. And dynamic forces spur change from amateria. And now I get what these symbols are for, these tapestries. So all we have to do is find the missing symbols related to the sentences. And I'm sure Servidro didn't think would be able to solve this. But then, if he knew the full symbols, surely he could have. So this is energy, which looks like a really weird E. And power is right there. Future motion. The start of the sentence is always at the top and goes clockwise. That's one down. Next up, nature. Encourage. Mutual. Dependence. Nice and symmetrical. You can do this in any order. It's just the sentence structure that matters. Finally, dynamic forces spur change. Until this game, I did not know spur could be a a verb. All symbols in place, and the inner shield melts. So, this makes you think of those sci-fi tropes where if you cut the power to a force field, it stays off. But here, this actually requires power to be on in order for the shield to melt, which I assume makes some kind of vibration or something. So yes, this was definitely meant to be a doorway, but not anymore. And this gondola is definitely not going anywhere. Down here we find a Tamana book. Well, that's a first. A linking book we can carry with us. Now I get it. This was how he broke into Atris's study over and over. Because... wait. I wonder something. There's a fourth sentence. Balanced systems stimulate civilizations. So all while Atris was hunting around for concepts to use for Releashon, Catherine went back to Myst and found the Jananan book there. So he used that book, and Atris left the Tamana book behind while Savidra was just lying in the bushes somewhere, and that's how he found it. So I'm guessing the Jananan book we use at the start of this game used to be here, and then he took it with him to Tamana, and then it burned. I got a bad feeling about this. Interesting pool of water here. So, my theory is Savidra knew the three symbols, but he didn't know what the fourth one was. But the brothers were obviously taught it. They just probably told it to them at one point. They didn't have the Narayan symbol, but they'd form it with these tapestries. But Savidra didn't know that sentence. Although he couldn't have brute forced it in the span of 20 years. So, similar, that's balance. System. Stimulate. And I think I saw civilization upstairs. There it is. And fittingly, it looks like a lattice tree. Oh. So when this is switched over, the shield comes back on, because the power's going here now. Ah, sorry about that. So the balance is like a backwards S. Really interesting thematically, believing that civilization can balance an age. Can it really? No. Balanced systems form civilization. I guess that's based on whether or not ages have civilizations when the book is written. Well, here goes. What in the...
Oh my god. They're alive? How did you... The Force symbol. Gives me hope and strength. You see, I still have something that he wants. Something that he sent you to bring back for him. Release you. Drop the outer barrier when I'm out by the gondola. Switch the shield so the outer barrier is open. And in return, I'll give up release you. Do it.
Well, this is it. This is our final puzzle. How to get the Releation book from Savidro. And because of that, I've already made 3 saves, but I'm going to save the first just in case. And also, I'm going to make sure I don't get a pop-up again. Yeah, you know what? I don't trust this. I'm out. I'm bailing, guys.
By the Maker, you've returned! Atris, come quick! The fire burned the linking book you used. We had no way of following and thought.
You've returned. But where's Relishan?
Oh, right, I forgot. It's like you said, the doors linking books leave open don't close behind you. Just pacing there. Well, maybe he's trustworthy.
Apparently, it's my turn to live up to my end of the bargain.
You bastard. I mean, it kind of makes sense. It's like Sarah and Akinar backstabbed him, so in turn, he backstabs us, even though we had nothing to do with Atris.
By the Maker, you've returned! Atris, come quick! The fire burned the linking book you used. We had no way of following and thought.
You've returned. And where's Relishan? Did you bring back the book? All those people. Everything we worked so hard to restore.
Atris.
Without that book, they're lost to us forever.
Well, that didn't work. This guy's stalling him. I don't know.
What are you doing? Go back inside and drop the outer barrier. Do it. I swear I will drop this into oblivion. What are you waiting for? Drop the outer shield, or I swear I will let go of this book.
Yeah, it was kind of to be expected on that one. But there is a variant of that. It's actually kind of funny. Ooh. I'm not touching you. I'm not touching you. He bashes us with the Relishan book instead. Okay, that one was worth it. Alright, so what the heck do we do then? if he's not going to negotiate, he's not going to keep his word, then, well, as it turns out, there is kind of a weakness to this system. We had to turn the power on upstairs in order for this to work, and these provide power to the shields. So what if we cut power to both of them? Force his hand, so to speak. Now I'll admit, when I first played this, when I was young, I couldn't finish this initially. Not because I didn't know what to do, but, well, I said when I played Real Myst that I was sensitive to raised voices, and this next scene delivers that in spades. The crash out to end all crash outs. So, well, I guess this is as good a time as any to lose your mind. Now, right here, this was... When I first saw this scene, I thought I did something wrong. So then, I made a mistake and did this. But I didn't see that part. So what you want to do is leave it off and then go downstairs. Because now we're in a position to actually bargain.
Oh, God. No. Please, don't do this to me. Not when my family could still be alive out there. You want the book? Here. I'll give you the book. Just... please. Please. This. Please. I can't do this again. Please don't leave me trapped here like this. I can't! No! 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 No!
Thanks, sucker.
By the Maker, you've returned. Atreus, come quick! The fire burned the linking book you used. We had no way of following the...
You've returned. But where's Relishan? Did you bring back the book? Thank the Maker. It's fine. We're in your debt, my friend. If this book had been destroyed, everything we worked for, all the people of Relishan, would have been lost to us forever.
You must tell us everything.
And so, as I once again set my pen to the page, a heavy sorrow hangs over me. It's true that Relishan has been returned to us unharmed. That the age I wrote to provide a new beginning is secure. But I can't escape the facts of its return. Nothing I can do will change the past. The anguish of decisions that were made must be carried with me forever. But if I had been the one to face Savidro, if I had seen the life my sons destroyed so callously, would I have left him stranded without hope? Would I have sacrificed his dreams to claim my own?
Psych! That's the wrong ending! There is one more. The best. The best save for last. Just think about it. At the end of the day, Savidro is just a victim. The only real harm he caused was that small act of arson at the start. The only reason he hurt us was because, well, we ticked him off. He made all this revenge scheme for nothing now that he knows that his people are back and alive again. And since he gave up, all we needed him for was the Relishan book. Now that he's given it to us, why should we keep him here? He doesn't deserve it. The real people who deserve it are in the next game. So yeah, you set the lever to the outer shield there before turning on the power. And now, at last, it's time Savidro goes home. Wow. So this is what Narayan really looks like. A bunch of floating plants in the clouds under a pink sky. So I'm guessing this is the new tree by the size of that city. And it seems these puffer spores weren't green after all, but almost white. So I wonder how they can stay floating like this. Must be a long way down. Well, our mission's complete. Guess it's time to go. And I actually have a surprise for the credits, because as it turns out, some of the choir lyrics are actually Narayani words, and I have a translation at the ready. So, no point. It's obviously locked. Let's go home. See you in the revelation.
By the Maker, you've returned. Atris, come quick! The fire burned the linking book you used. We had no way of following the...
You've returned. But where's Relishan? Did you bring back the book? Thank the Maker. It's fine. We're in your debt, my friend. If this book had been destroyed, everything we worked for, all the people of Relishan, have been lost to us forever.
You must tell us everything.
At last I can rejoice, for Relishan has been returned to me unharmed. The age I hoped would provide a new beginning still lives on. I'm sure that no danger shall befall it. And as I sit here writing in this journal, I rejoice to know that Narayan too is safe. The secrets of its past have been unlocked, and old wrongs have finally been righted. I know now that we can't escape the past, nor can we rewrite it, hoping to lessen our pain. The best we can hope for is to continue to learn, to take from the past only that which is good, and move on. Perhaps in the process, we will build a brighter future.